Hey gang, and welcome to the Meddling Kids podcast, a review of all things Scooby-Doo. I related way too much to the villain in this episode. I'm Stephen Pappas.
And I'm Julie Kidd. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Today we're talking about the 12th episode in the first season of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And it's called Scooby-Doo and a Mummy Too. And I just want to warn everyone about a few things. First of all, this is an action-packed episode. There was a lot going on and maybe 10 or 12 chase scenes. Second, I'm super excited for mommy puns, so we'll keep a pun count going on. And third, there is ethnocentrism and bigotry in this episode, which is always frustrating. As we've discussed before, Stephen and I love the Scooby-Doo series and almost everything about it, but we're still gonna call out the really crappy ethnocentrism and bigotry and racism when we see it. And so, since I'm not hearing anything from Stephen...
Hello, you're back. Hi.
Oh, yay! Hello. Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Great. How about I talk about this episode?
We could do that.
Okay. Well, let's start with nighttime and beautiful buildings, by the way. We see a sign that says Department of Archaeology. So we must be at the county college. Either that or UGA, because as we've discussed before, we think this series might take place in Athens, Georgia.
I was assuming it was UGA. Yeah.
Okay, let's go with that. It's UGA. We see a professor or a museum docent kind of showing the kids around, and they show that he shows the kids the mummy of Anka, once the most feared ruler of ancient Egypt that you've never heard of before because he's fictional and didn't exist. And also, were you going to say something?
Is that true?
I don't know, actually. Okay, Stephen is
Googling
it right now.
Well,
okay, if there was an amazing mummy, I would see UGA having it, potentially. Definitely not the county college, but UGA possibly. We also meet Dr. Najib. He's apparently responsible for bringing this mummy to UGA. And Dr. Najib is a stereotypical Egyptian man. He is wearing a red fez. Also, by the way, Najib is a really common first name for males in Arabic, but not really a last name so much. But I guess it's possible. And of course, do I do spoilers? No.
Oh, sure.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
he ends up being our villain. So great, thanks, Scoobies. Yeah, it's always fun when we get to see a person of color on the show, and it's always exciting. Ooh, great, different cultures. No, it's our bad guy. So thanks.
I found a full Wikipedia article.
Is it about Scooby-Doo or about?
No, it's totally about Scooby-Doo, but it does tell the history of the mummy of Anka according to Scooby-Doo. I'm going on a deep dive.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Stephen will report back.
No, there's nothing to report.
Okay. Folks, feel free to go and update that Wikipedia entry based on our episode today. Okay, so he says, I only hope the curse didn't follow. And he talks like the bad guy in Arsenic and Old Lace. So I kind of did his accent wrong. I only hope the curse didn't follow. No, that was terrible too. I forget the name of that really famous actor who plays him, but it's like a high-pitched actor, or high-pitched voice, short male actor. No? Okay.
In Arsenic and Old Lace?
Yeah, the movie version. I'll look it up later. Okay. Or, Stephen, Google. Who's the bad guy in Arsenic and Old Lace? By the way, amazing movie. Okay. Fred is really excited, dare I say horny, about finding out that there might be a curse going on. Dr. Najib says he threatened a curse if he was ever removed from his tomb. Okay, if that's the case, then Dr. Najib, why are you removing him from his tomb? Okay, anyway, during this exposition, Scooby is looking at a Siamese cat. I'm thinking might be a statue because it's holding very still. But now another Siamese cat joins, and the second one is clearly a living and very creepy cat. Scooby accidentally scares it away, and we never see it again. The professor says, do you kids still want to stay here tonight? And we never get any reason why they were going to do that.
Nope, they're just pulling an all-nighter with the professor. Also, is this the gentleman you're talking about?
No, I think that's a lady. No.
Nope, that's Peter Lorre.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Or Laurie.
Okay, yeah, Peter Lorre is the actor I was thinking of. I guess just Peter Lorre on your smartphone shown through our webcams did not do him justice. Sorry for saying you're a lady, Peter Lorre.
This is really good audio medium for everyone who's listening.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm guessing the kids and the professor were going to have an orgy or some lock-in kind of thing.
Whoa, that went to a weird place so fast.
Well, why? Oh, I don't know. Okay.
Maybe they're cleaning.
Well, okay, could be. Velma, playing the Scully here, is like, we ain't afraid of no curse. Meanwhile, Shaggy picks up a coin with a very sexy fertility symbol on it. Orgy. And asks the professor, but Stephen is giving me a look that clearly indicates he does not agree that the fertility symbol is sexy and that this indicates an orgy. Yeah.
Is it a fertility symbol?
It's totally like that very... Either that or a beetle. But you know that really, really ancient like statues that have been found from like sub-Saharan Africa of fertility goddesses? Right. It looked like that to me. Or
Since
maybe...
when am I the clean-minded one on this show? When did that happen?
My dogs just got really excited and knocked over a computer. Sorry, I'll be right back, kids.
Just gonna hang out here. This may or may not make it into the recording. A computer has been knocked over. We're in cleanup mode.
Yeah, sorry everyone. Doggies. There must be a mummy in the other room or something. Okay. So fertility symbol. Yes, it is canon. Now, again, kids, go update that Wikipedia entry. Sound check. Can you hear me okay despite my...
I can.
Yay! Okay. Professor is like, oh yeah, that random coin, just part of an unsolved mystery, which again is like the ideal thing to say to get these kids very excited. So the professor suggests that the kid, okay, so let's keep in mind, this coin was just sitting in a case where Shaggy could just pick it up. All right. Also, as mentioned before, the villain was standing right there. He also could have just picked this coin up. The coin is important, as we'll get back to. Okay. Professor suggests that the kids go downtown for sandwiches. Meanwhile, because an all-night orgy is a lot of work, I'm guessing. Meanwhile, the professor hears a loud sound and sees a figure pass by his door, and it's a mummy. When he goes outside, the mummy's gone, and the glass door is crashed. And unlike Scooby, this mummy must not have opposable thumbs. Okay, downtown Athens, GA. We see a cook. More stuff is falling off the couch. We see a cook with Shaggy's voice. So, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of that really famous actor who plays Shaggy. He's the radio DJ. Casey.
Casey, go.
Casum.
Go.
Casey Casum. Scout, come on up here so you're not tap dancing. Come on, good boy. Okay.
I almost said Case Keenum because he used to play football.
Casey Kasek?
No, so close though.
I know. Casey Casum.
Casey, no.
That's not it.
Oh, he did top 40.
Yeah. Okay.
He was like the Ryan Seacrest of his day with the top 40.
People are yelling at us through their.
Hold on.
Okay, so while Steven's looking that up, we see one of the grossest food combinations of this series, and there have been quite a lot of doozies. This chef...
Casey Casum.
That's what I was saying for like 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I knew
Maybe?
that. Also,
Okay.
Shaggy's first name is Norval.
What?
Yep, just blowing that. I'm blowing it wide open.
Oh my gosh, Norval.
Yeah, Norval.
We'll get back to that. I don't want to know any knowledge from beyond the season we're at. I'm just kidding. I don't care. Okay, so the sandwiches. What? Oh no, Steven's still on Wikipedia.
I've figured out his parentage. There's a family tree.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you keep that information to yourself for now, if you don't mind.
I will.
Okay.
I will.
I don't want spoilers. I know you love spoilers and giving them out, and then telling people afterwards that was a spoiler, by the way. Yep. Okay, so the sandwiches are liverwurst and ice cream, and Scooby tricks the chef into putting ice cream directly into his mouth. Shaggy pays the bill for the 3 sandwiches, liverwurst and ice cream, 3 sandwiches, only $1.50. Athens GA economy is very good. And he tries to use a bill and a gold piece he had in his pocket. Shaggy indicates this is just an accident that he stole that. But the kids
Sure.
are like, what? Why is that in there?
Yeah, that's a felony.
I know, right? They leave with the sandwiches. But when they get back, their professor is just a clay statue. Velma says there's only one person who could have done that. Dun, dun, dun. The mummy. Which,
They didn't freak out.
Nope. They're like, our friend is dead.
Yeah, this man is turned to stone, and no one panics. No one calls 911.
Nope.
No one. No. No.
They don't really trust the police for some reason. I mean, at the end of the episodes, they're always thrilled to have the police there, but they want to solve this crime on their own, I guess. I don't know. The kids find the evidence that the professor saw of the broken glass, but Velma is super smart, and she points out that this broken glass is on the inside of the door. So, doesn't make sense that the mummy broke on out of there. He must have broken on in. Doesn't make any sense. It also doesn't make any sense that the bad guy who was staging all this would have gone outside to break too, because we know he was already inside. Anyway, Fred says, the first thing we need to do is split up, which is never a good idea, Fred. But
Take a drink.
Right, exactly. So Velma goes with Shaggy and Scooby, and they are wearing pots on their heads, and they run into the mummy. He is super strong. He punches through a door, and we are sure that they are all going to meet their demise, but we'll find out after this commercial break.
Welcome to Poplar Cove, everyone. This town follows its own set of rules.
Who are the Great Old Ones? Is that a rock band or something?
You don't know of the Great Old Ones? Powerful deities from space? With physical appearances that no human being could comprehend? Unless, of course, you drink enough coffee.
Summon him with caution, as mere men who have spoken with this beast have gone mad. Well, that's silly.
She talked about elder gods and how they have tentacles. If an elder god were to try and eat me, I should try to punch it in the nose and... No, wait, maybe that was sharks.
Fine. If you're not going to play nice...
This reminds me of my favorite soap opera.
Oh, Hobart, darling, I'm so glad that you're awake.
Oh my, she looks delicious. I would like to smother her in barbecue sauce, and nope, that's not right. What's going on in my head?
Are you dizzy? Seeing double? Hallucinating? Delirious? Are you seeing characters from some foreign language floating up from the carpet? Are they forming words that you're suddenly privy to? Do you hear chanting of some kind when you're alone? Are they telling you how to summon the beast?
I'm fine.
Hey everybody, this is your best friend Steven,
And this is your best friend Chris.
and we're the hosts of the podcast Is This Adulting?
Every week, we sit down to talk about life, debate pointless topics, and most importantly, break the stigma on mental illness through opening up about our own struggles and how it affects us every day. Oh, and do you like games? We got those too.
What about guests from all your favorite podcasts?
Ooh, like Justin from Generation Y, or Nina from Already Gone, or Hal Lublin from Everything. And of course, you can't forget our special guest, Tom Bodette from those Motel 6 commercials. Okay, that last one might have been a stretch.
Yeah, just like them. So, join us each Thursday as we attempt to navigate adulthood as overgrown man-children. And remember, kids, be happy, stay healthy, and go hug someone.
Because you never know. They might just be the host of your new favorite podcast.
We're back. We're back. What's gonna happen? Velma, Scooby, and Shaggy are running from the mummy. Shaggy and Velma hide in a display of Anthony and Cleopatra, and this tricks the very stupid mummy. Scooby hides in an urn, and he is almost caught, but Velma's feather tickles her nose and it makes her sneeze, thus distracting the mummy and saving Scooby's hide. And fortunately, her glasses stay on. I was very nervous for her. All three run.
Just a couple observations.
Oh, please, by all means.
From these antics. One, I've noticed this over the course of the series. Whenever Shaggy runs, his animation is smirking. It's real weird. I don't like it.
I've
it's
never
like he
noticed.
knows something that nobody else knows, or he's having too much fun.
That's really interesting. I've always noticed his weird high knees, but I've never noticed that. I'll have to check it out.
But then also, when Scooby's hiding in the urns, we have the classic, like, ball and cup game thing going on.
Oh,
the shell game.
Right, like which urn is he in?
Right.
The guy
so
lifts
he
up
looked
this
in
urn.
1, and he's in 3, and he looks in 3 all of a sudden, and now he's somehow in 2, and I'm just like, okay, that's 1, physically impossible.
Yes.
But it's very Scooby-Doo.
Very. Yes. Yes.
And then some real weird stuff happens.
Yeah, the mummy's grunting. They're all running. Velma tells the mummy to shoo because, again, just like in our last episode, she's like, go away. And Shaggy says, your mummy's calling you. And I'm like, thank you. That's the pun I was waiting for. The mummy's grunting in English, not in Arabic. Coin. Although I guess an ancient Egyptian mummy would have spoken Aramaic or something like that.
And this is why I identify with the mummy. Because
okay,
I don't make much money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like there's a part of me that every time I'm like, hey guys, go support us on Patreon, like there's a part of me that feels like I'm just being like, coin. Like, Steven needs to eat.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess I could see that. I mean, and theoretically, this is the mummy's own possessions. Like, he should be able to have it, right?
Yeah, technically, I mean, it is his.
It is, yeah. It's no statute of limitations on your own personal property. So he wants the old Egyptian coin. Here's something that happens that's quite dangerous, and I'd like for all you meddling kids not to do this. Velma tells Shaggy, don't give it to him. What? Kids, if you're ever mugged, just give your possessions. It's just stuff.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Especially, it's not even Shaggy's coin. Like, just give it to him. Go flee to safety. Have your orgies someplace else. Instead, Shaggy tells Scooby to get him. Scooby doesn't want to do this until Shaggy bribes him with Scooby snacks. Scooby downs a whole box of Scooby treats. And, which, again, back to my thought last time, maybe they thought this was just going to be a one-season miracle because he just ate all the Scooby snacks up. Like, where is he going to go from there? Anyway, Scooby tries to punch him, but his stomach is way too hard. It's like metal sounding, and Scooby's arm is all broke. And then Scooby comes back in a gi and tries to do like taekwondo on him.
Now, did you notice what he was saying?
Yeah, I wrote.
When he was chopping him.
And he does terrible, offensive Asian impression.
In a very offensive Asian voice, Scooby is chopping him, yelling Nagasaki.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yep, he was saying Nagasaki.
Okay.
Over and over again, and I was just like, oh no.
Yeah, it was bad and unnecessary. Then Scooby comes back in a different costume, and he is like wearing a top hat and has a cane, and he does a silly soft shoe dance, and it's so silly that even the mummy breaks the fourth wall and looks at the audience for a bit. So I've got a screenshot of that. And Scooby dances away, and they're like, oh, Scooby ran off, but he comes back with a hammer and a nail, and he nails the trailing wrap to the floor. And now the mummy is stuck because a nail is super strong compared to a metal mummy.
Now, cloth tears.
Yes.
Correct? Am I
Yes.
correct in that?
Nope.
I may need to Google.
You're right. No, that's true. I've seen it.
Cloth
I've read
does
books.
tear.
Yeah.
So-
Well, that happens. He does break free from his cloth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the plan here, guys?
Yeah, no, it's not great. Scooby, okay, so Fred and Daphne find footprints outside, meanwhile, and it leads to this new addition that UGA is building to their gym and fitness area. And there they see Dr. Najib's car, but the doctor is inside, turned to stone. Also dead, we would assume.
They don't panic.
They don't panic. Yeah, they're like,
Again.
oh, that's too bad. Ah, man, Meanwhile, back at Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby, Velma finds a scrap of what she's calling tape, which is just like the mummy wraps. And again, okay, so for the rest of the episode, there's just so much that happens. Okay, she goes into a chemistry lab because she says, I want to determine the age of this, so we'll figure out if it's a real mummy. Steven
It's not how carbon dating works.
No, not at all. and also, why is that a good use of your time? Anyway, they go into this chemistry lab, which happens to be attached, I guess, or maybe they're in a different building. They had time to walk through this building after being chased to a chemistry lab. Still not to campus security or the police. She's making a potion and using a Bunsen burner. Scooby drinks some random chemicals, and a terrible thing happens to him. His head briefly turns into a frog's head.
Yeah, it did.
Yep, but it came back. So just a good lesson for everyone. Don't drink random yellow cups you find in a chemistry lab.
Or just anywhere.
Or anywhere. Never drink
I
random.
feel like that's a rule of thumb. If there's a random yellow cup somewhere.
Don't drink it. Especially if a bully says, hey, want some lemonade?
Nope, never
do that. Okay. Mummy.
Well, the mummy's kind of a bully.
Yeah, he is. Good point. He hands Velma an ingredient. She's looking for an ingredient. That's not the right term for when you need a chemistry thing, but potion? No. I don't remember. A liquid thing that you use in chemistry. And she realizes, oh no, the mummy's here. So they make a smoke screen exit by dumping a whole bunch of chemicals in there, and it kind of explodes a little, makes a bunch of smoke. The kids run out, but accidentally leave Scooby trapped in there with the mummy. They go back into the lab, and it is completely destroyed. So UGA is already has a big bill. First of all, for the coin that Shaggy stole. Second, for a destroyed lab, and who knows what else is going to happen. They go looking, and they find Scooby outside turned to stone.
And as sad as this was, this is when I laughed for 5 minutes and had to pause the episode because Shaggy yells, he's solid as a rock. And I'm a child. And I laughed real hard.
It went way over my head. I did not even consider that. Maybe I was too emotionally drained from seeing Scooby
You're
dead.
the one over here talking about orgies. I mean,
I know, right? Yeah, I guess we just find different things exciting. So Shaggy has a really tearful scene until the real Scooby returns, and then they do that dumb thing where it takes a while for Shaggy to understand that Scooby's okay, and he's like, Scooby, look, you're dead, and they both cry over the statue. I've got a cute screenshot.
It's pretty cute.
Yeah. How long does it take the villain to make this weird statue of Scooby, I wonder? Anyway, especially if all he wants is this fertility coin. Kids read up on the mummy and the professor's study. And this is very much like a Buffy episode where they're like, we're stuck. Let's go back to the library. So I like that.
Right. Giles.
Yes, exactly. When are they getting the police? Okay, the kids figure out that the coin is actually a key to the tomb. Like it fits in a little slot in the tomb. The kids, or not the tomb, but I don't know what you call it, sarcophagus.
In this little...
Or no.
Is it? I thought it was in just a tiny statue.
Oh, you're right. It is a tiny statue.
That was buried with the mummy. Which
yes.
Also at this point, the joke is made, and just a wonderful pun. Somebody says, after reading the story of the mummy, one of them says, it's a real riches to rags story. And I laughed again for a very long time. So I was like, all right, they got me with that one.
I missed that one. I was madly typing to get all this stuff in. Let's see. They are running from the mummy again. There's tons of action stuffed into the next 2 minutes. Daphne accidentally turns on a saw. This turns into a horror movie at this point. It's so terrifying. This saw is on a really, really, really long cord. Oh, they're in the construction site for the new gym.
They're in the wood shop.
Oh, is that where the saw was?
Yeah, okay, so they run up to the second floor and they utter the line, we're safe here on the second floor, to which my thought is why? Why are you safe on the second floor? The mummy can probably climb stairs, and if his ACL is real bad after all these years, he could probably still, I don't know, use an elevator.
Totally.
If he could figure out the magic box. But no, they're let's run into the wood shop. And I'm like, cool, you're going to run into a dark wood shop. Good call. There's lots of blades in there, guys.
Oh, yeah, it's a terrible idea, especially with accident-prone Daphne around, which is what Velma calls her.
Danger-prone Daphne.
Danger-prone Daphne. So now there's this electric saw chasing them, and it accidentally cuts into the floor in a circle, and they drop through the floor and land in the pool with a plugged-in saw. Electrocution risk.
No, it's still plugged in. There was so much in this scene that I was like, nope, that's not how that would work. That's not science.
They all jump on a diving board, and then they get off the diving board, and Shaggy, without realizing it, accidentally sits in the mummy's lap, which is pretty amusing, but, I guess it's not the most improbable thing to happen in this episode. There's more chasing. Other things happen. Now they're outside. They find molds and quick-dry cement. And they wonder, could this be how these statues were made? There's more chase. This chase music at this point was really raising my heart rate. Like, I could feel my pulse elevating. Shaggy and Scooby are inside a different shed, and they open a door to find the mummy is sealing them in with bricks and mortar like in the Telltale Heart.
Oh. You want to try again?
Cask
of the Amontillado.
Oh, I thought you meant like repeat because you couldn't hear me. Oh, really? I was totally wrong. Oh my gosh, you're good.
Yeah, Cask of the Amontillado. Yeah, I'm a Poe nerd.
Wow. Very impressive. Very nice. I like that. And I liked how you didn't just like call me an idiot. You were like, try again, Julie. Good try. You can do it. That's awesome. I'm impressed.
No, I'm really glad we both had the same thought though of like this is very.
Oh yeah, totally. So meanwhile, this is really funny. They find the professor wrapped up in a bag and he's all gagged. They take his mouthpiece off and they're like, "Oh, you're okay?" He says, "Yeah." And they say, "Great, we'll be back for you soon." And they cover his mouth up again and run, which I thought was really funny. They get on a lawnmower. It's not a riding lawnmower. It's just your typical gas-powered lawnmower. And bust on through a wall to get out.
My lawnmower can barely cut grass. Like, I get into fights with it because the grass is too long or wet and it gets clogged up. So how they are busting through walls and just tearing stuff up, I have no clue. And I need to get me one of those because, boy, howdy, I literally got into a physical altercation with my lawnmower last week. And my second of which I've had this year. The first of which I ended up breaking my finger with the lawnmower. So I don't like lawnmowers.
I get it. I'm scared of them. I have a push mower because I'm terrified of like a kid getting a thing stuck in it. Anyway, any bit of themselves would not work. All right, the big kids are just calmly watching this chasing. It's again one of those scenes where they just use like the regular animation and they're like, "Oh, let's not bother redrawing them with scared faces." They're just like, look at that. Scooby and Shaggy run down the mummy with the lawnmower, but it doesn't kill him. Somehow the mummy and Scooby end up on the lawnmower together, and then they both fly into a trampoline. More action, everyone. There's lots of hijinks of the mummy trying to catch Scooby, and they're bouncing up and down. Then the mummy ends up in a basketball net, and there he's trapped. Fred climbs up on a ladder and discovers it's Dr. Najib. Meanwhile, they have freed the professor, who is probably really upset with them, by the way, and they use the coin to sorry, I just got free. You're using your pen like right at the
I was
camera?
using my pen right at the webcam and I got real distracted, so sorry about that.
It was
I was listening, but I was just like, I wonder what would happen if I did this.
And I was like, is Steven trying to tell me something? It's not a baton,
No.
but it was just a pen. Okay, so they use a coin to open a statue, and they find a huge diamond, which is really good because UGA is going to need that to repair all the damage the kids caused.
And Shaggy? I want to say it's Shaggy. Goes, "It's a glass beetle." And I'm like, no. No, it's very clearly not a glass. Why would you immediately jump to like, oh, this dude really wanted this glass beetle?
Yeah.
No, it's a diamond scarab.
Exactly. Two very different things. They also are wondering, but what happened to the real mummy? And then they notice the real precious ancient mummy just kind of dumped in a corner. And they're like, oh, there he is. He's right over there by that potted plant. Literally a potted plant. The end.
Oh, it was a weird one. It was mostly chase scenes. I feel like it's much shorter this
was.
week because it was just like, how do you define what happened in the chase scenes with such detail?
It was hard for me to take notes on all this stuff. I'm sure I missed lots of stuff. So, folks, after you're done updating the Wikipedia entry to include all of our takes on the events, please go back and watch the episode. Lots of chase scenes, but also check out on Facebook and Twitter because I'll put some pictures from this.
Yeah, and any issues you have, or if you're frustrated with the way that we handled things, or the chase scenes weren't detailed enough for you, you can direct those to Julie Ken.
It's true. I'll take
just
it.
on Facebook or Or Twitter, just because I'm fragile. I'm fragile, y'all. Like I don't need that in my life. Don't come after me.
And I'm a mom, so I'm used to being criticized for everything. So come at me. It's fine. I can take it. So we do have a meddling question this week. And it's from my dog, Scout. It's not really, but this user didn't want her name mentioned. So we'll just pretend it's from my dog, Scout. Scout wants to know which... Oh, wait. I forgot the question I was making up in my brain. Sorry.
Wait. So this user doesn't want their name mentioned. Would their name be Julie? Could it be?
Oh my gosh. Okay, listeners, we didn't have a meddling question this week, and I forgot to go out and find one, so I was going to make one up real quick. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm not good at lying.
And you never, ever snitch or bail on your improv partner, and I just totally did. I'm sorry. Man. Improv 101.
Yes, and?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
This is flailing, ladies and gentlemen. This is...
Well, how about this? So, Meddling Kids, there's a lot of other really good Scooby-Doo podcasts out there, it turns out. So I recommend you go check those out and check out some of the other amazing podcasts that we like to tweet about, and let us know what you like in terms of these other shows. And I don't know, I'm flailing here.
I have a meddling question.
Oh, yeah, what? Please, I beg you.
How do you feel about Brendan Fraser's The Mummy?
Never saw it.
What?
Yep.
Who are you?
What year did it come out?
1999?
Oh. I was going to say, if it was post-Children, then that's my excuse, but...
No, 1999, and then 2002 was The Mummy Returns.
Well, I was in graduate school at that point, so that will be my excuse. I was starving and busy. Yeah, I don't know. What are they, comedies or scary?
Well, you could argue that they're comedies.
Or are they really bad?
No, I have a really warm place in my heart for the Mummy movies. Maybe not so much the third one, the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, because that one was
Oh, okay.
But the first two, I still think hold up as fun, just Indiana Jones style, action adventure movies with a supernatural twist.
Oh.
There's humor, there's romance. It's one of those summer blockbuster type deals.
That sounds great.
I'll tell you what doesn't hold up, and that's the CGI.
Oh.
Good Lord. The Rock is in the second one as the Scorpion King.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Well, he looks like they just took an action figure and just walked it toward the camera. It's bad CGI. But no, Brendan Fraser's The Mummy and The Mummy Returns. You should totally check them out. Depending on the ages of your children, they can watch them. I watched them when I was in 6th grade is when I watched them. So maybe.
No, yeah.
No.
Not yet. Not yet. Just to give you some, we watched Babe, just the first one about the pigs, and or the pig, and there's a scene where a sheep dies, and I still have to hear about that. I also tried showing them Michael Jackson's Thriller, which I'm also...
well, that's still terrifying to this day as an
Okay,
adult.
fair. Okay.
Nothing scares me more than the end.
Well, you know what? I like this. It's weigh in about the real life movies and television that are similar to the Scooby-Doo episode. So for sure,
not that Tom
The
Cruise
Mummy.
Though.
Oh, what was that one? Another Mummy remake?
That one came out this year, and it has a 15 on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's not mess with that.
That's so sad.
Let's not go near that. Apparently, that was just hot garbage.
There's so many movies in the world. I just think you should wait to do a remake until it's at least 50 years old.
That's fair. I mean, the original Mummy was 70 years old when they did the Brendan Fraser ones. Because the Universal Mummy.
I don't remember it.
From the 30s, the Mummy,
I wasn't
Boris
alive.
Karloff.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. I was alive, Julie. Come on.
I don't know. Okay, maybe we should wrap things up because this has gone off the rails. But welcome, first-time listeners.
Hi
there.
everyone. This whole episode's been off the rails. There's been dogs knocking over computers and all sorts of things. It's been fun, but thanks so much for joining us. It's been fun. We also want to say thanks to Dave Seste for the use of Night Surfing as our theme music.
Yes, and you can connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. We're at Meddling Kids Pod, and email us at meddlingkidspod@gmail.com with your meddling questions or just your thoughts about Scooby. And thanks so much to the folks who've been reviewing us on iTunes. That is amazing. It's a really great way for other listeners to find us. And thanks also to people who share our posts on social media. Pretty soon we'll have stickers, and you can let us know if you want one. We'd be happy to send one to you after you rate us or subscribe or post about us.
Sure, and we will be back next week with episode 13, Which is Which?
No, pronounce it the right way.
Which is which? There you go. I pronounced it very properly.
Oh my
goodness.
gosh. Okay, I'm
All
hoping
right.
that one doesn't make fun of different religions too much. Well, we'll see.
We will see. But until said time, listen, this week, I'm going to be honest with you. I have been watching.
No.
In a very Santa Claus way. I've been watching.
Gross.
And that thing you did on Tuesday, the thing you did was real weird. And I'm real confused by it. So I'm actually not really sure what you did. But you would have gotten away with it if it weren't for us meddling kids.
Have an alarming afternoon.
Which they definitely will now that I've told them I'm watching.
Yeah, it was a little especially creepy. I felt like you were talking right to me, maybe because we're on a video thing, but it was scary. So
Just everyone.
Yeah.
Like very Santa Claus-like.
Okay. Because I did do some bad stuff on Tuesday, and I'm like, how would he know? You're so meddling.